Hello, welcome. So for today's video I wanted to do another foundation review. This is a foundation I've actually used a handful of times, but I've never really looked close enough to see how it wears and how it looks at the end of the day. So today's foundation review is going to be from Beauty Blender. It is for the Always On Radiant Skin Tint. This is a light to medium coverage skin tint. It comes in 20 shades. Beauty Blender claims that it is a skin loving tint that offers breathable buildability and actually stays put. It's infused with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and beta glucan, so it's got a bunch of skincare ingredients in there to make your skin look good over the day, and it's designed to be applied with a damp beauty blender, which I guess makes sense for the Beauty Blender brand. What's interesting to me is that it is quite a radiant finish and a light to medium, but it's also marketed as a long wearing foundation, so I'm really intrigued to see how that works. I will be wearing it for about 12 hours today. I do have work and it's going to be about 30 degrees today, and I'm pretty sure it's also supposed to storm, so if it can last through all of that, then they've really got something going here. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below if you've ever tried the Beauty Blender skin tint. Let's just get straight into testing. Okay, so the shade I'm wearing today is medium 2. I am a little bit fake tanned at the moment, so this is my fake tan shade. I'll also put in the description box some other foundations and the shades that I wear when I'm tan, so you can kind of get an idea of the color that I am in case you're something similar. To start this, I'm actually going to prime with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I use this primer almost every day, so it's going to be a really consistent base for this foundation. It's not going to like change the way it wears or anything because I know how this primer works. It's also a water-based primer, which is amazing because this is a water-based foundation, so they're going to last really well together. Okay, so obviously it did suggest that I apply this foundation using a beauty blender because it is a beauty blender foundation. I'm still, as per normal, going to do half my face with a beauty blender and half my face with a brush just to see if it applies any differently or if the coverage changes at all. Oh, it says shake well before use. I have not been doing that when I've worn it previously. Okay, so just opening it. It is a drop applicator. I have found the last couple of times I've worn it, like sometimes a drop applicator works and sometimes it doesn't really do anything and I end up just wiping it on my face. So yeah, I don't know if a drop applicator is the best kind of idea for a foundation. Like, I'm not really worried about it either way. It's better than having no pump at all. This side I'm doing Beauty Blender. Okay, so the drop's working today. Oh, do you think that's enough? I think the only thing with the drop applicator, it's kind of hard to tell how much product you've actually put on your face. Okay, well, and then I am taking my beauty sponge. I'm actually using a Real Technique sponge, so they're all the same. I'm just going to start blending it out. I do have a few spots and things around my chin at the moment. I am breaking out a little, so it'll be interesting to see how this covers as well, because I've only really used it when I've had really nice clear skin. This does have surprisingly good coverage even with a sponge. Immediately, and this is what I have noticed when I've worn it before, it does have that really beautiful radiance to it. Like, I feel like my skin is glowing. Like, I haven't even done anything special in my skin prep, like skincare wise. I've just got the primer on and it looks just really radiant and beautiful. So that part of the name, check. And it blends really well too. Ooh, okay, so that's currently with no foundation on. And with the foundation on, isn't it just beautiful? And it's really lightweight. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything. Okay, that's beautiful. Yeah, it says it's a light to medium coverage. I think it's definitely more on the medium coverage side because I feel like it's really covered very well. My couple of spots have actually covered quite well as well. Like, they've not shared out over those spots or anything, which is really nice to see. It'll be interesting to see how it wears over those acne spots over the course of the day. Okay, and now the other side. Oh, the dropper's kind of working today, just for the video. Maybe it's because I didn't shake it, I don't know. Ah, not the eyebrows. And then I'm just going to apply with this foundation brush from BH Cosmetics. And stippling motions. Immediately what I'm noticing is that it blends pretty much the same. Like, it's a really easy to blend foundation. It doesn't have any patchiness or streakiness, which is great. So if you do prefer a brush applicator, You're not going to have any problems with this, even though they recommend a sponge. Okay, so this is it applied with a brush. I will say, I think it is just slightly, just like the tiniest bit more coverage when you apply with the brush, but it really still keeps that radiant finish. Isn't it beautiful? I feel like it gives you that glass skin effect. I'm like, is that the foundation or am I just sweating because it's hot in here? I mean, so far it's looking beautiful. Both sides, sponge and brush, basically look the same. The brush is a little bit more pigmented, just like by the tiniest amount. It's not even noticeable on the skin, but it's covered over my acne spots really well. If you can see there, the spot, like the color and the redness of the spots is all covered, which I'm really impressed with. The glow is beautiful. Like, this is exactly the kind of finish that I love from my foundations. It's giving my Nars light reflecting foundation a run for its money at the moment. I'm gonna go put on the rest of my makeup and then I will check back in to show you guys how it's all looking when I'm done. So this is my finished makeup look now that everything is on. It's still looking really beautiful and radiant, which is amazing. Also, it went really well with my other products. It didn't move or go patchy or anything. So yeah, I used a mix of powder and cream products and I didn't have any sort of reaction to any of them. It's all just the normal things that I use. I will link them in the bio as well, the products that I've used with it. Everything's looking really good so far. I'm very impressed. I didn't really set a lot of the skin. I set my T-zone using the Hourglass powder, so it's still going to keep it really radiant. I just felt like if I used a lot of powder, it would take away from the radiance of the foundation. So this is about half an hour into wearing and it looks really beautiful. So I'll check back in with you guys over the course of the day and we'll see how it's going. So I'm sitting in my car. I've been wearing this for a couple of hours now and it's sitting in the skin really nicely. I am sweating a little, so I'm hopefully, like, I hope it holds up, but I look so glowy, so radiant. But yeah, my car doesn't have aircon, so it's holding up pretty well to me, just like absolutely sweating my tits off. 2 hours in, we're looking very good. It'd probably be a few more hours before I check in again as I've got work. Okay, bye. Another check-in. It's around 6 o'clock. I'm still looking really nice and dewy. It's held up pretty well. It's worn off, like, if you can see, just a little under my lip. I was like bead sweating a lot there today, so it's fair that it rubbed a little, but it doesn't look patchy or anything. Still have that kind of glass skin finish. I'm gonna go home and yeah, check back in for my final check-in. I think we're gonna have a pretty good one, I hear. I'll see you guys soon. Hello, welcome back. So it is now 7:34, which means that I have now had this foundation and this makeup on for 11 hours, I want to say. If I did it at 8:30. I'm really impressed with it so far. I obviously still have that really glowy kind of glass-like finish, which for me is a big plus because I like a hydrated finish. I'm not a matte girl. Like, this looks to me very similar to how it did when I put it on this morning. I will say I do look a little bit more on that kind of dewy side than I did earlier this morning. Again, not in a bad way. I think it's really settled into my skin really nicely, like blended in with my skin. It hasn't broken up in patches anywhere. Like, it's still very even. It's really mixed well with the oils on my face. Usually one of my biggest, I guess, problems with foundations, especially more matte foundations, is that the oils on my face kind of react to them and they split the foundation rather than, you know, blending nicely over the course of the day and just wearing into my skin more, if that makes sense. It has worn off just like a tiny little bit right here under my lip. For any other areas, it's not really worn off anywhere. Typically with more hydrating looking dewy finish foundations, usually the wear isn't as good because they don't set as much as a matte foundation. They do tend to rub a bit more and wear off during the day. It's just like kind of inevitable, but this has held up really well. I honestly think it's very comparable to the Nars, what is it called, the new one, the light reflecting foundation. Didn't even need to look, huh? I think the finish and the wear is very comparable to the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation in terms of the dewiness, the coverage, how well it wears on the skin. Unpopular opinion, I might even like this more than the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin, solely because of the long wearingness. Overall, I am very impressed with this foundation. I can definitely see myself reaching for this on the day-to-day or on any days that I feel like I just need that little bit of extra glow. I just know that this is going to give me that super hydrated, really beautiful finish. I know a lot of people commented on how luminous I was looking today, so it's definitely getting the compliments. If I had to give it a rating out of 5, I would honestly give it like a 4.5 out of 5. It's solely because it just did wear just a tiny bit when I was sweating, but for the record, I did sweat like all along my forehead, my top lip as well, and that area hasn't come off at all. So it could also just be that I had worn it off when I was eating. I probably should give it the benefit of the doubt, but I think 4.5 is a very strong rating. So that is it for my Beauty Blender Always On Radiant Skin Tint review. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. I would really appreciate it. Otherwise, that is it for this video. Let me know if there's any other foundation reviews you guys want to see from me. I am more than happy to oblige. Any excuse to buy some new makeup. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!